Good morning, everyone.
Good
Am I
morning.
audible to you?
Good morning, sir.
Hey, good
Good
morning,
morning, sir.
sir.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good
Morning,
morning.
sir.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
sir.
sir.
Good
Good
morning. The
morning,
fact
sir.
that you can all hear me means that I am audible. Okay, good. Fine. So, how many people have joined in? Around 30. So, many more are yet to join, but we can start with the class. Let others join. Okay. So, let's begin today's class. So, what were we doing in the last class? We were talking about pointers, right? So we had talked about pointers. I had discussed different kinds of operators associated with pointers, and we also, saw the difference between the dereference operator, right? We had talked about the dereference operator, and we had also looked at. Let's go back and see what we had done. So yes, I talked to you about the dereference operator. I also told you about the different ways in which the star is used, right? Star is used in three contexts, right? One is in multiplication as an operator. Second, to declare a point of variable.
Sir, you are not audible.
Are you audible
You
with
are
the
not,
dereference?
Not audible, sir.
Sir, you are
Not
not
audible.
audible.
sir, not
Okay.
clear.
Am I audible now? I think I'm audible now.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Good. So when you use star with two operands, it is used as a binary operator. And when we are using the star as a binary operator, we call it multiplication. That is an arithmetic operator. When you use the star with a single operand, right? Like in this case, single operand, then what happens is we use it as a dereference operator. So that's all about dereference operator and address of operator. So we also, I had told you that address of operator is used to find the address of the memory location. So you guys are also comfortable with what is a left value and what is a right value. Okay, so today we're going to start, somebody was asking me about how do we write programs in pointers. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to write some programs for you, right? And you can actually, go through the programs and see what exactly is happening in the code. Okay, so I'll write some 3-4 programs, and using those 3-4 programs, it's going to be a revision of pointers for you. So please follow these programs and see what's happening. So whatever I have taught you in the previous classes are all covered in these programs. So let's start with a very simple program. Okay, so let's start with a very simple program. Okay, so all of you can see the screen, right? That's important.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
let's, okay, good. Let's start writing a very simple program. So all of you know why I write this hash include and why we write stdio.h. Everybody should be comfortable with this line. Now, all of you also know why we use this int main. Okay, this is again revision for you. Now let's start writing our code. So here is my first integer variable, and I'm also initializing the value 10. All right, so here is my memory location. Here is I, and here is my value 10 inside this I. Okay, and this will have some address. We don't know what that address is because this address varies from computer to computer. However, this I is associated with this address, and I is also associated with this content. So this is the left value and the right value. Okay, let's bring in a pointer. So I am getting a pointer variable. So here is my special pointer variable. Why is it special? Because I'm declaring it as a pointer. What's so special about a pointer? Because this variable is only going to store the address of another integer. That means this variable ptr can store the address, this value here. If 1010 is the address, this ptr is going to store that. Fine. So let's assign ptr. So what I'm doing here is I'm assigning ptr to the address of the variable I. Now, in order to get the address, I need to use the AND, which is the address of operator. We have done this in the previous class. Okay, now what? Now let's check what actually gets printed. So I am doing two things here. So I am actually printing the address, right? So I'm printing the address of I, right? Address of I. What is I? I is my variable, right? So let's say if I have to print the address, I need to use a format specifier, that is %p, which is actually going to show the print the address in a specific format, that is the in an address format. Now the point is, if you're using dev C++ on your machine, then the address with %p will be printed in the hexadecimal format. Okay, hexadecimal. So you've all studied hexadecimal. You know how hexadecimal is different from binary, how hexadecimal is different from your decimal, and how you can convert your hexadecimal to decimal. All right, so let's print the address of I in hexadecimal, right? So in hexadecimal, all right. And if you want to check the value of this hexadecimal, if you want to check what is the value of this address in decimal, then we can also print this in decimal. Okay, so if you do %d, that means this is a format specifier for decimal. All right, so in decimal I can write here. Okay, so this is fine. Now what I'm going to do is I need to give two values here. One will be for %f and the other one is for %d. Now what value will I give here? I have to give a value of something which has an address. So I can give star I, right? I can give star I, and I can also write PTR. So star I and PTR will mean the same or not? Star, sorry, not star, it's %I. Ampersand means it's an address of I. So this address of I and PTR will be holding the same value. That means, look at this, PTR is equal to address of I. So you can find out the address of I by using this. And since we are taking this address and putting it inside this PTR, which is an pointer variable, both %I and PTR will have the same value, right? What will be that value? That value will be the address. So
Address.
let's close this. Yeah, absolutely. We'll close this, program. So this is a simple program. Now, what we need to see here, if you guys have a computer at home, if you have a laptop, then you can execute this program and see exactly what happens. But let's try and discuss exactly what is going to happen here. Now, the first thing is the address of I is equal to this. So the address of I is equal to %p. So you will have some address which will be printed in a hexadecimal format. Okay, so this address will be printed in hexadecimal format. Now, what will be printed? We don't know, because depending on what is the address in which has been allotted in your machine, that address will be printed. So it can be anything, but whatever gets printed will be in the hexadecimal format. Now that is very important. Okay, now in order to check whether the address which is being printed in hexadecimal is correct or not, I am also printing in another address the same value. That means the address of decimal
Sir, you are
format.
not.
Okay, so basically both these values should be same. Okay, so how will you check whether these values are same? So what you, sorry,
Can you repeat the last
yeah,
line?
somebody is saying
Sir,
something.
voice is breaking, sir.
Abhishek, Abhishek, is it?
Yes, sir. Sir, your voice is not
My
audible.
voice is breaking. Is it for everyone or is it for only somebody
Everyone, sir.
specific? Are
Everyone.
you all able
So
to hear me
everyone.
clearly, or my
Everyone,
voice
sir.
is breaking?
Sir, breaking, sir.
Sir, last two lines not audible.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
My voice is not audible at all. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah. Everyone. Okay. Fine. Let's wait. Let's wait. Let me see if the voice is audible now. Just give me a moment. My network. Let me check my network. Yeah, it's fine. Internet access is fine. Alright. Everything seems to be fine. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to hear me? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. So let's continue. So in this case, what you can do is you print out the hexadecimal number and you print out the same address in a decimal format. And now you know how to convert a hexadecimal number into a decimal, right? You must have done it in the computer architecture or digital electronic class. So you try to do that. So you take the hexadecimal number and you convert it into a decimal number, and both these values, which this program is going to, output, those values should be same, and they will be the same. All right. So this way you can check what is the address in a hexadecimal format and what is the address in your what do you call decimal format. The important point here is this line, you know, ampersand I, that means using the address of operator, and PTR, those two values will be the same. So this is a very simple program in C++ which you can try out, the first program that you can try out. Now let's try to do something different. Okay, so let's try to write a little different program. So we will see how we can manipulate the values. Okay, how we can manipulate the values. So let me just continue writing another program. So all this is fine. All right, so let's get our main method. Okay, so let's bring in another integer. So let's go with our integer I. Let's put a value of 20 here. Now I'm going to ask you what is going to be the output here. Okay, so just closely follow what I'm writing. Now let's bring a pointer.
The display is not visible. Screen is.
Your display not visible, sir.
Display is not visible. Okay. Let me see what's happening. Just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I'm just going to reconnect my display. All right, is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Completely.
Okay, good.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
All right. So let me continue writing this.